Welcome back students, welcome to our next video. It is linked with the previous one. Now in the previous one we studied about the respiration, okay, and in that case we studied about the two types, that is aerobic and anaerobic. I think there is no need to recall again, but you have to see that aerobic is in the presence of oxygen, but anaerobic is in the absence of oxygen. Now need to understand what is breathing means. So moving ahead, breathing, that is the exchange of gases, okay. Now breathing is a part of respiration. In that case what happens, we are exchanging the gases, now taking in the rich air that is rich in the oxygen and giving out the air that is rich in the carbon dioxide with the help of the respiratory organs. You can see over here the respiratory organ that are starting from the nose, then passing to the nasal cavity, then to the pharynx, windpipe, and ultimately reaching to the lungs. Okay. Now we are taking in oxygen and we are taking out carbon dioxide. So what next in this, that the process of breathing, they divided into two distinct phases. What these two phases are, inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation, from the name itself, inhalation means we are taking in the air, and exhalation means we are taking out the air. So here this is a continuous process, and during breathing, inhalation and exhalation, that is an alternate way, okay, and the breathe means that one inhalation plus one exhalation, that is one on one alternate way. Now breathing rate, what do you mean by breathing rate? The breathing rate is our capacity to take in the oxygen, and breathing rate varies according to the work also. The number of times a person breathe in a minute, that is the breathing rate. Now on an average breathing rate of an adult, that means at rest, there is 15 to 18 times per minute, but during the heavy exercise it is 25 times per minute, and in case of children it is bit higher than the adult, that is 18 to 20 times per minute. Now the breathing rate changes according to the oxygen requirement of the body, as I said you before. Now this is slowest when we are sleeping, okay, because at that time there is no need of requirement of the energy, because very less or low energy is required, and that's why there is a slowest breathing rate at the time of sleeping. But during the heavy exercise our breathing rate increases, because at that time we require lots of energy. So the increased breathing rate, that provides a greater amount of air entry into the lungs, and hence the body can absorb the oxygen at a faster rate. So it speeds up with the breakdown of the food and more energy is released. Next we have that we feel hungry after physical activity. Why it is so? Because during the heavy exercise what we are ultimately doing, in the previous videos I said you that the food which is absorbed in the presence of oxygen, that is broken down, and energy is we get it from the food that we have absorbed, or that is digested, okay. Now during the heavy exercise, the breakdown of the food that we have eaten, that energy we have that is absorbed during the respiration of the cell. Now more energy is being required by the cell, that's why the broken down of the very rapidly to provide the extra energy by respiration. Ultimately what will happen, the food that we have eaten, that is consumed. So what we again we want more energy, that's why we feel hungry and we want more energy. Ultimately we need to eat more, that means. So in order to gain the more energy we need to eat more. Next we have here that why we yawn. What is the reason of the yawning? Actually when we are sitting and we are not doing any work a lot, okay, there is no physical work, we are sitting and getting tired, what will happen? We start yawning, that means we open our mouth wide. Why we open our mouth wide? To take a long deep breath in, that means we are taking in the oxygen by opening the mouth wide open. Now when we are tired, overworked or sleepy, our breathing rate slows down, body doesn't receive sufficient oxygen. So that's why we yawn, that means it helps in taking more oxygen, and that's why we open wide our mouth. So take the sufficient amount of oxygen. Now how do we breathe? This is about the breathing, that is in two phases, inhalation and exhalation. But how do we breathe? Let us know. We breathe through the nostrils. As you can see, different parts are there, and this should be asked in your exam. that they name the respiratory system in human beings and organs which are involved in the respiration. Now these are the nostrils, then nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx is a voice box, sound box you can say from where the sound is coming out, then trachea, that is another name, windpipe, lungs and the diaphragm. These are the important organs, and this diagram is very important. You should know that this is the nasal cavity through which the nostrils, the air inhaled in goes to the pharynx, then to the trachea, that is a windpipe, and then ultimately to the lungs, that is the left lung and the right lung, then bronchioles. Here this is bronchioles, and the bronchioles and alveoli is the last side where the oxygen is absorbed to the blood. This is the main diagram, and you have to practice it. You should know that how the path goes on. This is the main thing in this chapter. You should know the functioning of this. These are the nostril through which the inhalation gas is inhaled, pharynx, then to the trachea, and ultimately to the lungs. And lungs, these are protected in the chest cavity and outside by a ribs, and lower one muscular floor is known as a diaphragm. As I discussed one by one, that is the holes, nostrils, nasal passage, that is to the trachea, ultimately the upper end of the voice box, that is called a larynx, that is upper end of the trachea, and the lungs present in the chest cavity surrounded by the ribs, and large muscular is known as diaphragm, and breathing movement of the diaphragm and the rib cage is involved. We will study ahead about this, how it movements. Inhalation means we are taking in oxygen, then it goes to the lungs, then to the blood, then to the every cell of body. The respiration takes place, and carbon dioxide, water and energy, and this carbon dioxide water enters to the blood, then again it goes to the lung, and ultimately exhalation, that is carbon dioxide and water vapor are released. This whole process is the breathing. When you inhale air, what will happen? When you are filling the air inside anything, what will happen? It will expand, it will come. So here, when air goes in, the ribs, they will move out, upward, and diaphragm moves inward. And in case of exhalation, the force fully the air is out, the ribs will move back downward direction, and the diaphragm will move back in upward direction. These movements are important. It can be asked to you. As you can see, when it inhaled air upward, and this will come down, and in exhalation, the ribs down and diaphragm upward. Here you can understand very well that how inhalation gas, diaphragm going down, and exhalation, diaphragm going upward. Inhalation, as I say, the ribs move upward and outward, and diaphragm downside, because there is an increased space in our chest cavity. Okay, so air is sucked in from the outside into the lungs, and the lungs, they fill with the air. That's why it becomes white. But in the exhalation, the ribs will move downward and inward direction, and the diaphragm in the upward direction. Because there is a reduce in the size of the chest cavity. That's why the air is pushed out from the lungs. Here you can see how the gaseous exchange takes place in the lungs. Ultimately, there are the vessels, blood vessels are there present. Alveoli, their exchange of gases takes place through the blood capillaries. This is the alveolus in the lungs. Oxygen is taken up, and then again carbon dioxide is again back to the lungs. This you can feel it or observe by measuring with the inch tape, measurement tape, that when you inhale, there is increase in the size of the rib cage, and when you exhale, there is a decrease in the measurement of the chest cavity. Next, we can perform this experiment, this activity you have to perform. What you have to do, you have to take two bottles. You have to, one bottle you have to take. In that case, what you have to do, tie the two balloons inside it with the cork over here, and underside a rubber sheet. When you stretch it, it will act as a diaphragm, and the air is pushed in. Why? Because here low pressure is created. And the previous chapter I explained thunderstorm, in that thunderstorm and cyclone, how the wind moves. The air blows from high pressure to low pressure. That's why the air goes inside it, and these balloons will become big in size. And when you release this rubber sheet, what will happen? The air is pushed out because the high pressure is created inside, and then the air from this balloons will go out of it. So this is how this inhalation and exhalation process goes on. This is the same again, this experiment you have to perform over here. What do we breathe out? This is the question, that what do we breathe out? Till now we are saying that we are breathing oxygen, but what we are breathing out? We are breathing out the carbon dioxide, and what is the percentage? Inhaled air and exhaled air. When we are inhaling, the percentage of oxygen and carbon dioxide varies. What is it? 21% during inhalation, and during exhalation it reduced, that is 16.4. But the carbon dioxide is 0.4%, and here 0.04%, and here 4.4%. So the air contain more oxygen during the inhalation, and exhaled air contain more carbon dioxide. So air we inhale, that contain little water vapor also. From how we can come to know, when you blow the air in front of the mirror, you will see the vapors on it. So that proves that water vapor are also present. Next, you can see that which air we are breathing out. That means we can, that is carbon dioxide. But how we will come to know? Just blow the air in the lime water, you will see that lime water will turn milky. That indicates that it consists of carbon dioxide. Exhaled air is rich in carbon dioxide. When you exhale on the mirror, as I say, the moisture is observed on the mirror. That proves that blowing out air, that consists of the water vapors also. So this is all about our video. In the next coming videos, we'll meet soon with some interesting and amazing facts. Thank you.